Right, we're going to start by taking the front shoulders off of the animal. And what we're going to be doing is because of the nature of this shot and the amount of bloodshot meat that they are, we're going to be soaking this animal in water and ice. A deer's front shoulders are not connected to the body by any kind of joints. So there's a bunch of bloodshot stuff I'm going to get off of it here.
So you're cleaning it up some and then you're putting it in ice water.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get rid of as much of the old bloodshot stuff off of it as I can. Okay, we've got the front shoulder kind of cleaned up now. We're going to be moving it over to the ice chest to let it be soaking on ice for the night. Second shoulder cleaned up, ready to go on ice. Let's go ahead and cut our flank steaks off first. I always like to kind of clean my animal up a little bit, so I'm going to clean up some of this stuff off of it here. This old tallow and stuff like that. But on a wild animal like that, it gives them a little bit of a bad taste. So I like to kind of get all that off of there. Some people it don't mean nothing, but it does to me. It's actually it's the difference between good tasting meat and bad tasting meat. Alright, we're going to get this old, some people call it silver skin. I try to get all that stuff off of there because a wild animal, it just has a tendency to make the meat get tough if you leave it on there. Okay, time to get the flank steaks off. We're going to start right here. You want to be careful now not to cut into your back straps or your tenderloin, which, here's your tenderloins right inside here. These are your tenderloins. So I always like to come just on out in around my tenderloins, cut up in here. Get this animal to be still trying to run away. Cut all the way down to the rib cage. There's your rib. And what I'll do is I run around that rib. There's my flank steak. There, but what we do is we don't keep the steak, we just grind it all up for sausage meat. Now we're going to take the tenderloins out. You can usually stick your finger down in next to the backbone there. The tenderloins will usually roll right out. I'll get on this side of me here. Don't matter which way I turn it, okay. Run my knife right along the edge of that backbone there. And I'll come just inside right here. If I can get my fingers. Your fingers will usually go right behind it right there. I don't want to pull it and tear it, because it will tear extremely easy. There you have a perfect tenderloin. Okay, the next phase is going to be cutting the neck off of the animal here. As you can see, I have the neck right here. We'll be making probably sausage meat out of it also. I've got the cut right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it on off. It's kind of difficult holding the camera and cutting it, so I'll be cutting it off and then I'll get back with you. Okay, here's the neck. After we've got it cut off, we're going to be cutting it up into sausage meat, but we're going to put it in here to soak for a day or two. And along with the rest of the deer meat, we're just gradually cutting it up in pieces. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start beginning taking the ribs off of it. You know, this is the first deer of the season. I'm trying not to waste anything on this animal. I want to make sure I get as much of it and get as much of the meat as I can get. I mark my ribs down that side, then I'll spin it around. I'll do the exact same thing on this side over here. I'll cut down to the bone. What we're doing is cutting down next to the back strap there. Alright, we got that marked. And you know what? I think we're going to try to keep these, because we'll put some of these in a crock pot and cook them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down through here and make me a mark kind of halfway through the middle of these ribs. I like to do that. That way I know where I'm at when I'm doing something. There's not a lot of meat on it, but you put it in a crock pot, it'll cook it. Ain't the easiest thing in the world to do with one hand. Now that we've cut the outer edge of the rib cage off, I'm going to go ahead and take the back straps off so that I can actually get more rib with it when I cut into it. Now what we want to do is, we're looking right here, there's actually, let me turn it around here. There's a bone that goes right up inside the body right there. You see it right in there. We're going to cut toward that bone. We're going to come around and come up here at the back. The next thing I'll do is take my knife. We're going to insert it in next to the backbone. Cut through this old thick silver skin here. We're going to run right down beside the backbone. All the way. Alright. Then what you want to do is take your knife and you want to run the course of the backbone all the way out. Let's see if I can get out here where you can kind of get a little bit of an idea about what it looks like. This is what you're going to want to do. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way, but I want you to be able to get a good visual on the backbone. All you're doing is taking the tip of your knife and following the bone. All the way down. Alright, second rib cage off. Alright, we're going to try to see if we can break this thing loose. There we go. I make a good chiropractor.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so.
They won't have no back problems after that.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Period after that.
Bone in there. There's no need in it.
We don't need the bone.
I'll be honest, I'm sitting here debating whether I want to boil this up for the chickens or not.
There's going to be another bone coming in here, so.
I mean, because I'm looking at all that meat right there, it's going to boil right off the bone.
Yeah.
And the chickens will love that.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely love it. Okay, as you can see here now, we have the roast cut off of the hind quarter. The rest of this will be going for cutting up into grinding meat. But you look at the beauty of this roast. This thing, I cut it like 3 inches thick. It's just an awesome roast. Going to be nice to be able to put in a big old crock pot or a big Dutch oven and cook down to eat over the holidays. Look at that. Now that, my friends, is what's good about butchering your own meat. You can actually cook one fine roast. I mean, you don't get any better than this.